Okay, this is a world that I've created for a group of fifth graders. This is my first time trying this. So students are asked to pretend they're a colonist arriving in a new world. And so I've given them a link of how to create some tools if they need to know how. I've also created a large beacon because I turned on night settings, so when nighttime comes, students will be able to find their way. And I've also added some animals as well as some other items. So you'll see when kids get into the world what they're going to be asked to do. Okay, students have now entered the game and they are pretending to be colonists. So what they have to do is take on three different jobs. We have either farmers, or builders, or craftsmen. So the craftsmen are the ones that are making the tools for the rest of their colonists. The farmers are the one gathering seeds and herding the animals and putting them in a pen. The builders are the ones responsible for making the shelters. So we have the beginning of a shelter over here. I've added some NPCs. So if I click on my trader, he will trade some items to get some food. I also added a trader over here to help students. I think I'm going to turn off weather effects. Here's a farmer. So if I right click on him, he'll give me some materials to build a fence to keep the animals penned in. So students are trying to learn 21st century skills by taking on a different role and taking on the responsibility of a colonist just entering the new world. So I'm going to turn off the weather effects here, so students don't have to worry about that. I'm going to allow night and day cycle though, so students can see how to build light for their building. Okay, there is a buzz in the crowd now as nighttime is falling. So students are realizing they need a source of light and they need to start farming. So I'm going to try to fill in some of these grass blocks. Students are trying to learn how to farm. Some of them are still chopping at the grass, so I'm going to fill those back in. So we're getting there. They're all getting the hang of what their jobs are and how to work together. So our builders are trying to build a shelter. Our farmers should be trying to farm. Doesn't look like there's much area for it. So as the nighttime comes, they're all going to have to start figuring out how to work together with this. Okay, this is our last day this week for fifth graders learning how to be colonists. So I told them that they need to work on creating a fenced area for their farm and to create a shelter for their fellow colonists. We had some discussions yesterday about working together. A lot of students are just minding off on their own. So we had to have a talk about 21st century skills of collaborating, communicating, and solving problems together. Right now it looks like their farm area is a little shy. And then I've got another area over here where there should be a fence for some animals. Some people are trying to interact with them. We do have a lot of craftsmen creating chests of supplies. So I see there's a farmer here working on planting some seeds. This is a nice little farm area that's been established here. It's growing some plants. So hopefully students are starting to realize what it's like to be a colonist. So as we check back on our colonists, I see that they're starting to finally build a fence for their livestock. So they're using the trader, the farmer, who can give them some fencing. And I spawned in some animals because I told them if they can make a fence, that I will give them some livestock to start using for supplies. So I see everyone has their job. I see we have a fenced area over here. They're starting to work a lot better. You can see I have a large beacon so people can find their home spawn spot. Looks like we've got our farmer tending to the farm. He's doing a great job. We've got some homes. I'm going to look inside the shelter, see what's inside. So right now I see a furnace and a craft table. We've got a couple other shelters starting to get built. Large areas. There's definitely a buzz in the crowd now as kids are starting to figure out how to start sustaining themselves as colonists. So it's been a good project. I'm going to have students fill out a reflection sheet afterwards about how did you learn about being a colonist, how did you do your job, and what other projects they would like to do. And based on the feedback I get from students, I will make adjustments to this world as necessary.